before you tell yourself, I'll deal with this dissertation next semester, let me ask you something. How much longer are you going to carry this heavy weight alone? How many more years are you willing to sit on 6 figures of student loan debt with no doctorate degree to show for it? How many more times are you going to deflect the question, so how's your dissertation going? How many more promotions are you going to watch pass by because you don't hold a terminal degree? How many more times will you hear, we require a PhD for that academic research role? And it's just not about you. Your kids are watching, your spouse feels the weight of it, your family made sacrifices so you could pursue this long, expensive academic endeavor, and there's an impact on the other side of your research that has not yet been released. Policies that haven't been influenced, students who haven't been led, communities that haven't been served, kingdom conversations that haven't been entered, because the work is still sitting unfinished. Let me say this clearly. You are not lazy, you are not incapable, and you are not behind in life. You are structurally unsupported and likely spiritually exhausted. You started this believing it was obedience. You felt called. You felt conviction by the Holy Spirit. You believed God led you here. And now it feels heavy. But hear this. God did not call you this far to quit. He did not give you the vision just to let it die in revision cycle. When your argument flow is misaligned, when your research questions don't drive your methodology, when your findings don't clearly answer your problem statement, when your APA 7th edition formatting keeps getting flagged, when your committee gives you vague comments like clarify or strengthen, you enter a loop. And the lies that you're supposed to carry this alone. But here's the rock. You don't need more hustle. You need structure. You need alignment. You need partnership. And there comes in the Dissertation Rescue Method. The Dissertation Rescue Method, which was built for this exact moment. Not to ghostwrite, not to compromise integrity, not to cut corners, but to walk beside you. To align your argument from chapters 1 through 5, to refine your scholarly voice without replacing it, to correct and strengthen APA 7th edition precision, to translate committee feedback into strategic action, to move you from ABD to doctor in 90 to 120 days. I want you to see something first. These are not students who needed motivation, they needed structure. Ray needed clarity to obtain his sign signature page. So, who's Dr. Genoa? So, I was born 12 weeks early, spent months in the hospital fighting to survive, and struggled academically through college. So, when I earned my doctorate, I cried because it represented over 20 years of what seemed impossible. After I was hooded as Dr. Genoa Occhipinti, doctoral scholars started sending me their work, and I discovered I had a gift for strengthening complex research without changing their voice. I loved it, not because I wanted to fix papers, but because I understood what it feels like to fight for something that doesn't come easy. That's how Dissertation Rescue was born. To help scholars just like you defend and succeed without compromising who you are. For many of my clients, the dissertation is already drafted. What they need isn't just basic proofreading. They need sharp doctoral level editing that strengthens the argument, flow, and clarity. Someone who understands committees, methodology, and the academic voice. A partner who can see the whole project and say, here's exactly what we need to fix, so this passes. If you're at or near a full draft, and you know it needs to be tightened, elevated, and made defense ready, that's where my work shines. So LaTonya here, she defended successfully while supporting her niece in the ICU. She did not hustle harder. She got aligned. We locked arms, and she finished with her doctorate degree. She said, "Thank you very much for the payment plan. You were truly remarkable for allowing me to make payment plans. I thank you from the bottom of my heart." As you can see on the left side is your draft. Misaligned, unclear, sentences you can't even see anymore because you're too close. On the right side is the final version. Every chapter tightened, every argument sharpened, committee questions anticipated before they're asked. This isn't grammar, it's line-by-line editing that transforms, I hope this passes, into they'd have to work hard not to pass this. I take the document you've poured yourself into and turn it into the version you thought you were writing all along. So let's make this your dissertation defense ready. So, how do I help you exactly? As a founder of Dissertation Rescue and one of the best dissertation consultants in the Southeast, I understand the pain of the dissertation process. I've consulted on thousands of students' academic work and more than 50 dissertations, with a 100% defense pass rate across major fields, including leadership, education, business, social work, nursing, and more. Through my proven 3-step framework, I help doctoral candidates move from stuck to successful, completing their dissertations in 90 to 120 days rather than 3 to 5 years. And across those dissertations, there's a 100% defense pass rate, not because I write for scholars, but because I align structure before submission. You're not looking for someone to fix commas. You're looking for a strategic partner who treats your dissertation like a high-stakes, career-defining document. I'm a one-person, high-touch consultancy. I work directly with doctoral professionals who are serious about finishing the document they're proud to put their name on, not just something that slides past review. As many of you know, the system is broken. Universities teach theory. They do not teach execution. You are expected to figure it out alone. But dissertations are not just research projects. They are structural builds. And without structure, even brilliant scholars stall. That is not a character flaw. It is a systems flaw. And I fix that. This is for you if you've been ABD for months or even years. If you're asking yourself, will I ever finish this? If you're working hard but barely moving forward. If the committee feedback feels vague or contradictory. If you want your life, family, and sanity back. If you know you can no longer figure this out alone. And you're ready to stop guessing. And this is not for you if you want to do this completely alone. Think of it like this, climbing Mount Everest. Sure, you could try to do it solo, but even the best climbers hire Sherpas who know the terrain, the weather patterns, and where the hidden crevices are. Going alone isn't brave. It's just slower and more dangerous. And if you're looking for someone to write it for you, here's the truth. If I wrote your dissertation, you'd walk into your defense completely unprepared, and your committee would eviscerate you in the first 5 minutes. I'm not building you a bike and telling you to ride it in the Tour de France. I'm teaching you to ride it while running alongside you. And this is not for you if you want a quick fix without doing some work. So remember microwaving leftovers versus actually cooking a meal? Your committee can smell a microwave dissertation from a mile away. This is about doing the work right, not doing it fast. But doing it right means you actually finish instead of spinning your wheels for 3 more years. And this is not for you if you're not ready to invest in your own completion. You've already invested 4 to 7 years and tens of thousands of dollars to get to ABD. It's like paying for 90% of the house and then refusing to pay for the roof because it's too expensive. The roof is what makes everything else matter. And this is not for you if you're not coachable. I had a client once who argued with every suggestion for 3 weeks, then finally tried one thing I recommended, and their entire chapter clicked into one place. Being coachable doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're smart enough to recognize when someone else has already solved the problem you're stuck on. And this is not for you if you're not ready to follow a proven system. Think about every groundbreaking study you've ever cited. They all follow the same basic structure. Introduction, literature, review, methodology, results, discussion. Those researchers didn't reinvent the format. They poured their brilliant ideas into the format. The system isn't there to limit your intellect. It's there to showcase it. You wouldn't try to reinvent APA citations or the IRB protocols, right? Your dissertation structure is the same. Follow the proven path so your ideas can shine. And this is a partnership. Partnership requires commitment. When LaTonya's niece was in the ICU, she didn't disappear. She showed up for her calls, did the work between sessions, and trusted the process even when life was falling apart. That's commitment, and that's why she's Dr. LaTonya today. The Dissertation Rescue Method. It's a 3-step framework. Step 1 is a roadmap session. This is where we diagnose the misalignments that exist and what happens next. Then we go to step 2, where expert writing and editing partnership come together. You write, and then I refine structure, clarity, methodology alignment, and APA precision. Then we move on to step 3. We committee, proof, and quality control the work. We audit your work before submission, so you submit with confidence, not anxiety. The structure produces momentum. Brady said something powerful. Your amazing efforts will make me look good. Not because I wrote it for him, but because his work was finely aligned. Confidence at submission changes everything. Ray didn't need rewriting. He needed structural correction. He's submitting, noting it would pass, not hoping, knowing. And LaTonya, she defended successfully while her niece was in ICU on a ventilator. She did not grind harder, she got clarity. Completion is possible, even when real-life chaos happens when structure is applied. The Dissertation Rescue Method helps you complete your literature review strategically. Design methodology your committee will approve. Structure each chapter correctly. Write in proper academic voice. Navigate contradictory feedback. Prepare confidently for defense, and most importantly, graduate in 90 to 100 days instead of years. You solve million-dollar problems before lunch, hold teams together, and show up when it's on fire. But this dissertation has stolen your weekends, your sleep, and worse, how you see yourself. It's not your intelligence or your discipline. It's the isolation, the lack of real structure, the burnout of doing PhD-level work alone on the margins of an already overloaded life. Using a proven 3-step framework, I help burned-out doctoral professionals turn stalled dissertations into a tightly planned path to defended and done in 90 to 120 days without blowing up your job, health, or family. You don't need another webinar or template. Put eyes on your work and someone who understands what it takes to finish at your level. Your dissertation does not get to rewrite your identity. Finish this and reclaim your life. You're one aligned strategy away from momentum. Imagine submitting with confidence, scheduling your defense, hearing, "Congratulations, doctor. You didn't come this far to remain ABD. Completion is closer than you think." On this complimentary dissertation strategy session, we'll diagnose what's truly blocking your progress, identify structural misalignment, and map your exact next steps. Whether we work together or not, you leave with direction. I take a limited number of scholars per quarter because this isn't a course. It's a true partnership. The difference between scholars who finish and scholars who stay ABD forever is action. If a spot is available when you check, book it now. Show up ready to invest in your future. A quiet room with no distractions. If a spot is available when you check, book it now. Show up ready to invest in your future in a quiet room with no distractions. Click below to move you from ABD to doctor.